Yeah, I'm only half an hour late. That's 6:30 on the dot, or 6:31 now. For me, that's pretty good. Welcome to the show. It's Club Corbie. If this is your first time watching, I'm John. I'm the creator of the comic book series Corbie, and this is the bit where I do my plug and tell you all about Corbie and what it is that I do. So if you go to readcmc.com, you can learn all about the world of Corbie, the comic, the characters that are in it. You can find out a bit about me. You can read some character profiles. You can learn all about what we do in Club Corbie. You can check out the store where we sell merch, and you can get digital comics from there. You can sign up for the Birdy Bulletin, and you still have time. I want to get the December edition of the Birdy Bulletin out on December 1st. So if you're interested in signing up, getting a free gift of the original edition of Corbie issue 1 for free, and also getting vouchers and discounts off of merchandise and other fun stuff like that, head over to readcmc.com/newsletter and sign up for the Birdy Bulletin. And now we move on to the bit where I plug the comic itself. So in the middle of last month, the expanded and remastered edition of Corbie issue 1 was released. You can get it across loads of different digital platforms. You can get it on our merch store, which is powered by Teespring. You can get it on Ko-fi, you can get it on Gumroad, you can get it on Drive-Thru Comics, you can get it with Kobo, you can get it on Google Play. I'll come back to that in a sec. You can get it on Amazon, you can also read it on Global Comics. So a bunch of different places. And you still have time to get 10% off. Is it 10%? I'm not 99% sure. It's a 10% off voucher, right? Off of Corbie issue 1 through the Google Play Store. So I'm going to put a link in chat for that. That link is good until December 1st, so you've got a couple of days. And you can read the other issues of Corbie, the original editions from 2018 through 2020 for free. And they're on the website, so you just click on them. You can download them too. It should work. There you go. You can power through them and just read them like any other webcomic. Let's keep scrolling, and we'll find the page that we're working on today, which is page 9 of issue 2. So this is the original version, and we're in the process of fixing it up and getting it to the point where we have a nice polished new version. Because, well, that's what the remasters are all about. I was never really happy with the art in the original editions, and I know we could do a much better job now. So if I show you, if we jump over, and you can see the new art, and I don't know, maybe you don't really get to appreciate it when it's like you're just looking at it on stream like that. But I have been, with this particular page, just agonizing over this one for a couple of days now. I think when did we start? I think I was I took Sunday off. We weren't streaming on Sunday, and Sunday was just me sort of like getting organized, I think, and getting ready to get started with this. And I think Monday we really started to go through it, and we're just changing the characters really. I'm making like little tweaks to some of the background details and things like that, but mostly we don't need to change a lot of stuff with the backgrounds. And you will notice if I jump back to 2018 version of the comic. Where's my cursor gone? Well, I don't know. Okay. So Morrigan, Rin's sort of mentor slash companion slash And the mentor slash companion pretty much sums up, or enabler, I sometimes say enabler as well. Is present in this particular page. Let's open it in a new tab so we can get a better look at it. And we have the transparency effects on here because Morgan, as we've talked about in stream several times, is like a spectral entity. She's sort of like, this is an old reference, but in the Flintstones, you had the Great Gazoo, who was the tiny alien that only Fred and Barney could see. And Morgan kind of serves that capacity within Corbie, right? Nobody else can see her. When Corinne's in conversation with her, it's like, who's she talking to? So she sort of exists in like a ghostly fashion. So when we incorporate her into the comic, we use transparency effects so that you can see through her. So that it's clear that she's like a ghostly figure. Which requires a lot of work, and it's something that I sometimes regret doing now. But anyway, right, so I feel like my computer's slowing down. What's causing that? I can hear it. So yeah, we still have all the elements with Morgan to add, but we're making some progress. So as I said, we're getting organized on Sunday to start this page, and it's Wednesday now, right? So we really didn't get started until Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. This is really the third day. We started off in sequence, doing Corinne in the first panel, Corinne in the second, which is my favorite. I don't know. She's so funny looking here. I really just enjoyed doing like silly, cartoony sort of characters like that. Rather than it's so much more it's just a nice change from just drawing people standing around and talking, Anyway, right. And then we did Corinne in the third panel, and by that point it was like I was really struggling with this one and getting the hair right for some reason. I don't know what that was about. Then we skipped panel 4, and I went on last night's stream. We were working a little bit on this panel 5. And I said I would circle back and I'd do this one, so last night after the stream was over, I went in and I had to do this one in much more fine detail, just because it's such a small panel. That's my reasoning anyway, why it turned out like that. It doesn't have a lot of the thick lines, so I don't know, it's definitely different. Hopefully it'll be okay. It's not going to be it's not going to stand out too much, And then today, I spent entirely too long on this image of Krita, and I'm looking at the hair there, and I can still see the hair is not entirely symmetrical, and that is driving me nuts. Wait. Okay, right. These sort of like straight on shots are so frustrating to me, because if somebody's jumping the side, balancing things out isn't as much of an issue, but when somebody's like looking straight at the reader like this, and I have to make sure that everything is perfectly balanced on both sides, it's like, oh, there are tools in Krita to help with that, but I don't want to use them, to be honest with you, because I'm so set in my ways. Anyway, but other than that, I feel like this one turned out really well. If we go back and again look at, oh, I can't show you the old line there because I removed it now. Oh. I forget that then. Right, so with all of that done, we only have this one small image of Karen here. And the last panel I'll do, and then we can circle back and do the ones with Morgan as well. And I've really been, so that last panel that we were talking about, this one, I would like to be able to tell you that I turned that around pretty quick, but I didn't. It took a couple of hours actually to just refine everything and polish it up and get to the point where it was exactly what I wanted. So, see how we get on with this one. Obviously it's just a headshot really. I was so wrapped up in trying to get it exactly the way that I wanted it that I got absorbed in it. Put the fire on earlier today. I was in the living room drawing, working on that panel. I may as well have not bothered putting the fire on because I got so like engrossed in what I was doing. And when I'm in that zone, it's like I just pay no attention to what's going on in the world around me, really. It's like, because the fire's I'm not going to be able to maintain the fire and keep it lit, so it just went out pretty quickly. And then before you know it, it's like I've been at this for like 2 or 3 hours. Just tweaking everything. And it's like, it's dark now. And I haven't even really taken that in. It's like it's dark and it's getting cold because the fire's out. And I'm just too absorbed in like trying to get over the finish line with that panel. And it's not just a drawing thing, it's a writing thing as well. But I do that a lot. In the winter time I do that a lot where it's like I need to go and actually make sure that the house is warm and that, you know, the place is well lit as well, not just sitting around in the dark. That's not good for, like, you know, I talk on stream all the time about, you know, seasonal depression. That sitting around in the dark is not helpful. But I don't know. I mean, it's kind of like it's a good thing, you know. We always talk about I'm a slow artist, right? I really agonize over all the details and try to get things exactly right. That's the whole reason why I'm going back and redoing all these old pages, is because I feel like they were just not up to standard. So yeah, I'm super slow. I agonize over everything, but you know, but once I get going, I will say this in my defense, right? I will keep going at something until I have absolutely put everything I have into it. So there you go. Hire me. If you want to hire me for like a comic project or a writing project or anything like that, you can. Or if you just want a commission or something, there's information about that on my personal website on portertronic.co.uk. And I shouldn't really be offering commissions, by the way, because I should really save that for when I'm between issues of Corbie, right? Because if I start taking on other tasks, then that'll slow me down. But officially, technically, yeah, if somebody were to request something just now, I can try and accommodate you. And you know that if you've watched the streams, you know I will give anything that I endeavour to work on like 110%. If I mess anything up, it's not from lack of trying, that's for sure. Because I'm such an insecure person and I need everything to be... I need to know that I've done the best I absolutely could. That's why it took me so long today to get that last panel done. It was like I kept looking at it over and over again, just going, the hair is not like perfectly balanced and I need everything to be exactly so. Also, of course, I want these, you know, upgraded panels to really look like an upgrade, like, it's in my own best interests to have like a really big level of like visual improvement, a big step up from the old art to the new art, so that hopefully it draws in readers, but also so I can go back and post these panels on social media and say, look, this is what the old one looked like, this is what the new one looked like, are you convinced yet? Do you see what I'm trying to do here? It's like that thing, I suppose, of... I should turn this heater off. It's like that thing of, be so good that they can't ignore you, and I've never been able to get to the point where it's like I'm good enough that people can't ignore me, but I'm always trying. You're always kind of, in my experience, always hoping to reach like that tipping point where your work is good enough that I'll start to pay attention to it. Which is kind of disturbing when you think about how long I've been actively drawing, right? Like decades. Okay, my pen is acting strange again. No, my pen is really acting. What's going on? No, it's gone, it stopped working. Oh. Okay, we're back. I don't know what that was about. We had similar issues last night. In fact, I'm sure it's the same issue. Where occasionally I'll just lock up. Hold on. Yeah, I had something in my throat there, I don't know what that was about. Anyway. We had similar issues last night where Krita was just locking up. And it wouldn't let me draw anything on the canvas, I don't know. What's causing that? If we see it again on the next page, I'll know that it's... I was gonna say, I don't know. I don't know if that would prove anything. But maybe if it's like a system resources issue or something, or just... This page isn't even that big compared to some of the pages that I've been drawing. Yeah, I am overextending my arm again. I'm reaching too far out from the desk. And that's something we've talked about on stream before. It's like if I'm not positioned correctly. If I'm too far away from the monitor, my elbow tends to like hover in midair rather than being planted on the desk, and it's bad because you tear your arm out that way. The popped up again. I think the center pieces that come out from the forehead are perhaps a little too close together here. And in order for the character to be more on model, I need to pull them out a bit. No, that's not working. Screw it. I think I just need to redraw this whole section completely. Again, I'm hitting clear and nothing is happening. Screw it, I'll just go in by hand. Okay. Chat, I'm thinking about changing up the format of the stream in the near future. I don't know, I haven't committed to anything yet. But I don't know, I'm just tossing around ideas about what we can do to start to grow the stream and bring in more viewers. Because I don't know, I feel like maybe me just sitting here and drawing is like too dry. And also that maybe it just gets to be like same old after a little while. And of course we've tried to do like gaming streams and things like that. I do enjoy doing those, but some of that stuff is sometimes very like time intensive in terms of the amount of time I can invest in it, if you know what I mean, versus I have to keep working on the comic regardless, right? Like whatever I do on stream, I can't allow it to dig into the time I would spend working on the comic too much, right? So I don't know, I'm thinking about maybe we need to do more sort of like just chatting sort of content, I suppose, as well. Maybe just like in addition to the art stuff. So I don't know. It's just something to talk about. I'm just trying to figure it out. I'm gonna extend out the neck here a bit. Yeah, I should add, by the way, as per the title of today's stream, we talked last night on the previous edition of Club Kirby about how we were supposed to be due to get snow here in Aberdeenshire. And all the weather reports said that snow's coming, I think last night about 11 PM it was supposed to be that the snow shows up. And that never, I didn't see anything. Nothing ever transpired of that. And then it was supposed to be, well by like 8 AM the following morning. There's definitely going to be snow there. This morning, nothing. No snow again. So, I don't know. And right now, still nothing. I've not seen a trace of this supposed snow. Was supposed to be coming in today, or last night even. Mind you, I haven't looked. I don't know if other places near us, but maybe we're just like an outlier in that regard. Okay, we're starting to lay down the basic foundations of everything here, and everything looks like it's in place, I guess. I'm a bit wary after working so hard on the previous panel and having to do so much adjusting and moving everything around and all that kind of stuff, you know, fiddling until I got everything exactly right, so... Okay, I'm trying to think about how cartoony I want to make expression here. Okay, the eyes have definitely turned out kind of strange. They may be a little bit off model, I don't know. I'm really committed to trying to get different expressions onto the page and not just draw like the same face all over and over again. I want to try and get it just right. We'll start to erase the construction lines. No, those eyes look strange to me. We're gonna have to go back and redo this. Okay, getting closer, but we still need to make a few more adjustments. How about that? Almost. You know what it is? These are too big. It's the same thing I was talking about on stream yesterday's show. The face looks better when the eyes are just a little bit smaller. Also, one's a little bit bigger than the other still. It's a bit wild that it took me until now, 9 pages into issue 2, to realise that that little adjustment to the ratio makes such a big difference. Okay, yeah, work with me here, drawing. Give me something I can use. Ah. My chair is very creaky. I don't know if you can hear that. I need to go get some WD-40 or something and just adjust that. Positioning of the eyelashes is also a little bit uneven, and that's a bit kind of... We don't need to be that picky about that kind of thing at this stage. We can go in and make that adjustment, and then that looks a little bit better. I really feel like my neurosis is on display here in full effect on tonight's stream. It's like you really see me fiddling going, no, that's not good enough, that's not good enough, that's not good enough. Do it over and over and over and over. You can see why that last pile took me as long to do as I did. And how I could get so wrapped up in trying to get all these little details about it, and the craziest thing, well, one of the craziest things about making comics is most people, even if you can get them to actually buy your comic and read your comic, it's like the nature of the beast that they're just going to look at it, and it's just like one moment that they will observe it, and then they will probably never look at it again. And it's like hours of my life, and for people reading it, it might just be like a second of theirs, you know. And it's just, that's just part of the nature of comics, but you just have to accept it. Right, I feel like the nose is a little bit smaller than usual here. I don't know, I'm trying to capture something about the expression in the original version of this panel. But also make it better, right? Because that's the whole point of redoing everything. You try to take what's good and, you know, take out what's bad. Maybe that's like self-explanatory, but yeah. Okay, the screen's zooming on its own. What the? Stop doing that. It's not helpful. Okay. Okay. I've got kind of maintains very knowing expression that Karen has here. What are we doing for time? We've still got a little bit of time left on the clock. I figure we're only doing about an hour here on stream tonight. Okay, now we can really start to refine out the rest of the details of the head. You know, and clean up a lot of stuff. Something about my process, this refers to how I process, right? I guess that maybe that's a very pretentious way of talking about it. I guess my process has become very messy over time. And I just, what I'll do is I'll start with getting like the basic construction on the canvas of the head and the body, if it's, you know, a full body shot. And then, as we go on, start to add in all the different elements. Just get things placed on the page. And once you have everything where you want it to be, you can start to just add in little fine details, you know? And then keep refining, refining, refining. That's the way that I do it anyway. And then eventually, you end up with your finished panel. I haven't got that ear detail quite correct. Quite correct. The ears are just a little bit too big. Something is still not quite right, you know? I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's I've not got the shape of the hair correct, maybe? I don't think that is what it is. I think... Hold on, let's turn the folder off. Okay, the neck is too thick for a start. It's an unusual problem for me to have. Usually it's the opposite. That sort of thing depends on how realistic you're going for in terms of your art style. But in order to keep current on model, we really need the neck to be just the right size, not too small or too thick either way. Possible the mouth, it's just too big as well. At least for this particular panel, you know? I think it works much better like that, yeah. I think the facial features might be a little bit too high up. Yeah, there we go, that looks a bit better. Those kind of little changes can make all the difference. And if you get things in the wrong place, if your placement is off from the outset in terms of where you're putting the eyes, the nose, the mouth relative to how big the head is, if you see what I mean, and just their sort of location on the head, getting that wrong right in the beginning when you're assembling sort of the face and the head. This can be like that can be like disastrous, because if you get those things wrong, initially, then that can have like knock-on effects, right? And then I don't know, you're struggling all the time to try and get everything right, and it's never looking right because you made those really fundamental mistakes early on. It wasn't not even necessarily like a mistake, right? Just it just wasn't what you needed. I think that's the best way of putting it. Okay, chat, I was about to say we're done for the day, but we are so close to getting this panel finished, I think. Maybe we should just stay on until I'm done, right? I don't know. See, I say that, and then, again, knowing how slow I am, it seems like we should be about done now. We should just have to do like the collar and the tie. And add a few little details to the hair, and that should be it. But realistically, me being me, it's entirely possible this is going to take me another hour and a half or something. I'm really frustrated just now about how slow I am still. I'm really trying to pick up the pace, or not even. It's not even really so much about picking up the pace, it's about I just decided today that I really wanted to try and like, brute force my way through to getting this page done. I thought that maybe I could. And obviously I've made some progress, but not enough. What I really don't want, chat, is for this page to take a whole week, right? Yeah, I guess we started on Monday really with this page. If we're still working on it next Monday, I think we're in trouble. And I guess if we're still working on it next Monday, obviously by then we'll be talking about like the colouring stage and all that kind of stuff, but I don't know how likely that is to happen. But think about it this way, right? If every page ends up taking a week and there's 22 pages total, then that would mean yeah, 22 weeks of the year, like half a year almost. No, we can't do that. We can't work at that pace. No, obviously we don't have 22. We don't have 22 pages remaining. We have 4 after this of old content, and then somehow 9 new pages we have to generate out of thin air. So okay, say we've got 13 pages we have to do at 1 a week. If it turned out like that, another 13 weeks, and then we'd still have to do the cover art after that, and all the other little bells and whistles that come with making a comic book, and that's not even taking into account the lettering, because a lot of the pages I haven't done the lettering for them yet, the ones that we've completed even. Ooh. I think it's best not to overthink this stuff. I think if anything, like, I can just like lead to paralysis and just getting like overwhelmed and And maybe the best way to do it is all we can do is just like work on it, just keep going. There really isn't, maybe there isn't any trick to it. In terms of getting anything done more quickly, we just gotta go for it. If there is a trick to it, getting pages completed to the standard that I want and doing it quickly, man, I'd love to know it. And don't say AI or something like that, come on. That's not on the table. Okay, once I started drawing the tie, I realised the hair is much further out on one side than it is on the other. Because we can make that adjustment, we can just redo the hair on this side of that. Get rid of it here. I think the neck is too long actually. And that is potentially a problem because I can't really see a way around that other than me relocating the entire sort of lower portion here and moving it up. Okay, that works a lot better, I think. It's funny, we had the earlier issue where the neck was too thick, and then it was like also then I realised that it was like no, now the neck is too long as well. But okay, that's resolved now, I think. We were talking earlier about, certainly with my sort of drawing process and the way that I do things, involves a lot of having to just get the initial lines down structurally and go from there, and then just clean up your messes as you refine things. But things like that where you have to start moving chunks of the image around, as I just had to. That has a way of making a lot of additional messes as things start to overlap. And then you gotta go in with your eraser and just start cleaning it up. Yeah, my chair is so creaky. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna, after stream is over, I'm gonna go fix that. And then I think I'm going to have a break after this as well, because I have been drawing all day working on this page, and it's like eventually you got to stop, right? You got to take a little break. You know, mental health stuff and just like avoiding burnout. It's really important. I think especially like this time of year when we always talk on stream about it's so dark, it's so cold, it's so tough to just like pull through and get stuff done, right? But also it's like I enjoy drawing and I have a lot of fun doing this. Doing the streams and doing the comic and that, but it's like I know that if at the end of the day I've spent the whole day just doing this, just staring at Krita, fumbling about, drawing and erasing and trying to get everything right. It's like Once you've been doing that for hours and hours, and once it becomes like the whole day, it's like, okay, at some point you gotta stop and just go do something else and just like stretch your legs. Go out and get some fresh air if you can. But today is not a good day for that, obviously. Not here anyway, not locally. But in general. He's going to take care of some other stuff, you know, and in my experience, that time away from the screen is going to benefit you in the long term, and your work will be better for it. You won't just be like running on fumes. You won't be burned out. And also, of course, there's the physical thing of it's not good to just be hunched over at your drawing table as I am just now, like all day, every day. That can be like really detrimental to your health. And we've got to be in this for like the long haul chat. If you're an artist like I am, hobbyist or professionally, right? If you spend any amount of time drawing, I assume you want to keep doing it for the long haul, right? So you got to look after yourself physically, and not run yourself into the ground, and not. You got to especially look after things like your wrists and stuff like that, and think about your. I'm not practicing what I preach here, but you got to look out for your posture and stuff like that, and try to make sure you're holding together. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but there's not really that much, but we can sort of start to clean up around the borders now. I don't mind if the lines when the borders a little bit. And again, as we were talking about earlier, once you have everything in place, you can really start to go in and refine it. Smooth out any sort of weird bumpy lines. And some of this stuff, as I was saying earlier, people might never see. It was zoomed in here at 161%. It's like a lot of people never notice the little changes that we're making, but these little things, lots of tiny little changes, cumulatively, can add up, and they can make a big difference to the overall sort of impact. And the very last touch I like to add is just add a little bit of extra additional detail to the hair. Or one of the last touches anyway, usually that I do. Something like that, and if we turn off the old line art, you can start to see what it's going to look like. I'm not entirely happy about, this is really fussy, right? I'm not entirely happy about the fact that down here we can sort of see where the arm is on one side but not the other, but and that's just me being picky. I did not think we were going to go quite this long today. But this is another example of me not being able to let go. It's like what I was talking about earlier, that once I get started on a piece, or a panel, an illustration, once I really start to get into my groove, it's hard for me to stop. It's hard for me to put my pen down and just say, no, John, you're done, you're done, you're done. And then before I know it, I look up at the clock and it's like, it's 3 in the morning, what happened? Right. Chat, I talked on stream a little while ago about how unhappy I was with my frustration with the issue 1 cover and how I made the decision to have Corinne's eyebrow just sort of hover over the edge of her head, so I am gonna blank that out right there. And extend the eyebrow a little bit on the other side. Okay. I'm fussing so much over this tiny little panel, but I really feel like getting this one is important because when we have Morrigan on the other side and she's going here, and they're looking at each other and sort of their expression, or their expressions, and their sort of the way that they look at each other, and sort of to build up the idea of like their chemistry that they have now as sort of like mentor mentee, I guess is what you'd say, or student and mentor, that kind of thing, or just like as friends, as partners in this whole superhero thing that they're doing, I suppose, is it's really important. It's really integral to just displaying who they are as characters and what the comic is about. So, I mean, we kind of talked about that on a previous stream with, hold on, I gotta turn off these guidelines. we kind of talked about that on a previous stream about how this was like my reference page, and I would always use this page to demonstrate like what the comic is and sort of get across the idea of what it's about and how this particular scene sort of encapsulates so much of what Corbie is about. So hopefully it's all going to come together, and the different elements here will all just it'll all click. A lot of that is going to be contingent on when I go and back and draw Morgan in the transparency layers, that she comes out correct. But you know, that she looks right. I think it should all work. It should all come together, and hopefully this can I guess go back to being like the page that I talk about, and it's like this is what Corbie is all about in terms of it's like the character relationships stuff and stuff like that. Not so much like the action, obviously. It's not like a good page to show like Corbie is like a superhero action comic, which it also is, but the other aspects of what the comic is are all here. So, well, we've been going for an hour and a half. So almost an hour and a half. I think we have to wrap it up there. I should save. I should always save. I never know when Krita is gonna die on me. And I need to go back and blank out the original art there. So that and then merge the new art that we've done on stream today back into the page. Okay, but we're making good progress actually. Today's Wednesday, but we really only started on Monday. I want to see if I can get the line art done. I'm not going to get the line art done tonight. I'm not going to be able to draw a bunch more illustrations of Morgan and get them all done in one evening, and it's just not in me to do that, even if I power through, right? And I just like I was just talking about, a lot of this is like it's self-care stuff, and you've got to be able to take breaks and walk away and do other stuff as well. You can't just draw comics all day every day for the rest of your life. As much as I love it, right, and it is fun. Even if I was getting like paid really well to do it, and lots of people were buying the comic, and it was like readership clamoring to see it. It's like yeah, but even then, right, I would still have to do this. I would still have to be able to say no. You've worked enough on this. Go do something else for a while. And I think it's also good to enforce those habits, even just now, like where if you look at it in the perspective of I'm a small creator and I'm doing this comic primarily for myself at this point. I think it's good to get into those habits while you have a small audience, and then when you know, as your audience grows, you have that in place, right? You know what to do. So, and that's going to help you with like avoiding burnout and stuff like that in the long term. I'm trying to talk about this stuff more, chat, and give more like advice on stream instead of it just being me talking about my comic and my art and all that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? It's like I'm trying to give you advice that I hope is like applicable if you're making comics and art yourself. I don't come into the stream with a set idea about things like that. Maybe I should, but I don't come in with like an idea, but today I'm going to talk about burnout or something like that, or today I'm going to talk about having good posture when you draw, so things like that. Maybe I should set out today I'm going to talk about X, and I'll put that, you know, in the title or something, and that'll be better, and then, you know, it can be flagged as like a resource that people are going to actually seek out and like listen to, I guess. But I don't know, maybe that is something I should do. I'll have to think about that. I mean, that's a bit of work too, right, as I have to think in advance about what I'm going to talk about on any given day. But if you'd like to see me sort of move in that direction as well. Like I said earlier, I'm just trying to think about different things that we can do with the stream to expand our reach, that kind of thing, so I'm all ears. But with that said, right, we're going a lot longer than I thought we would tonight. We started at 6:30, so about half an hour later than we should have, and it's now 8 PM on the dot. So, we will be back tomorrow. I imagine tomorrow you can kind of see the direction that we're going, and we're going to be continuing to work on the art for this page. We're going to be working on the panels with Morgan. We'll be working on the same panels, but the elements with Morgan. We're trying to get closer to having all the line art done, and then we can go back and do the colouring. But we gotta get it done within the next couple of days, or I'm not gonna be happy. And maybe I'm placing unreasonable demands on myself, but I really want to pick up the pace, just so that we can get issue 2 out faster, so we've got some momentum. I don't want issue 2 to drag on for months and months and months, and it's like we're getting into springtime and it's like we're nowhere near done. So the more that we can get done before like Christmas break, the better. Right, so yeah, tomorrow evening 6 PM we should be back here. 6 PM UK time, I should say that. I don't know what time it is when I start in your particular time zone, but hopefully that gives you a rough idea of when you can expect to see me on YouTube, on Twitch, twitch.tv/Quartertronic if you want to follow me there, if you're watching on YouTube, if you want to jump over for whatever reason, I don't know. readcmc.com. Don't forget that the voucher code is still good for the next couple of days until December 1st to get some money off on the Play Store, so you can find out more about that. There's a blog post on the Corbie website with that link if you missed it. Oh, actually, I could just post it in the chat again, couldn't I? Does that still work? Yeah, it does. Yeah, that voucher code will work the next day or two. If you want to get the Birdy Bulletin, as I said, I'm kind of just doing my chilling spiel that I do at the start of every stream there. I'm doing it at the end, aren't I? But yeah, the Birdy Bulletin should be out on December 1st, hopefully, if I can set aside some time to do it. I want to start getting it out on the first day of every month, and then I've got that, you know, locked into my schedules. Something that always happens. But I think that's covered all of our bases for today. Thank you so much for joining me here, chat. It's good to have you here, and just being a part of the show, being a part of the community, CAW community. I don't know if that one's going to catch on the community. The flock, Corbie's flock, the flockers. I do value having you all here and just popping in to see me and give me a chance to hear my thoughts. And then I go back to doing this solo once the stream is over. So, but it's nice to be able to come in here and just shift gears and just stream here for a little bit every evening. So I'm babbling now. I've really got to cut myself off. So I'll be back tomorrow evening, and I hope to see you then for the next edition of Club Corbie.